And a pleasant good morning to everyone, and welcome to our virtual National Achievement Expo, Friday, July 2, here at the national headquarters of the Jamaica 4-H Clubs. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this virtual experience. And we plan to have a lot of excitement today. But before we get into that, it is my pleasure to welcome my co-host, Miss Althea McKenzie. I am another co-host, Carol McCormack, Public Relations and Marketing Manager, and you'll hear from me a little bit later. But at this time, I welcome Althea McKenzie to give the official welcome.
Thank you, Carol, and good morning, good morning, good morning. Lots of excitement to be generated here today. You might want to turn down my microphone a little bit. Carol, my voice is big and bad, you know. All right, so good morning. What a time for us to be having this virtual experience. I noticed Ted Roy saying that this is the inaugural staging of this virtual experience that we're having. But of course, I'm sure that the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, they're hoping that they'll be able to take this back to its usual home come next year. But we plan to just have a good time in here today. As Carol told you, I'm Althea McKenzie. I host Farm Talk on Power 106 FM. And for me, being able to do this is certainly a no-brainer because I have enjoyed a long relationship with the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, and it is one that we will continue to engage the entire 4-H family, which I understand is now over 110,000 strong and the second largest in the world. That is absolutely amazing. Friends, we come to you at a time when Hurricane Elsa is churning in the Atlantic Ocean. And so we're going to talk about that in just a bit. But I greet you with the word shalom. When we greet someone, Roy Lesson says, we usually say hello, and when we leave, we usually say goodbye. It is a nice social greeting, but it has no deep or profound meaning behind it. In Israel, however, when you greet someone or you say goodbye, the word that is used is shalom. Shalom is much more than a usual social greeting. It is a prayer, a blessing, a desire, and a benediction. And it is a word that is packed with the full benefits of God's favor. And so I greet you this morning with the word shalom. Because when we shall have left here, I want you to take that back to your different homes with you. And so if you're joining us on Zoom, if you're joining us on Clover TV, if you're joining us on Facebook, we greet you with the word shalom. And I'm going to have my remarks in just a bit, but let me just invite to pray now O'Shane Weller, a clubite from the Stony Hill Heart Academy. O'Shane?
Okay, let us pray. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Almighty God, creator of all living things on the earth, human beings, the trees, our crops, and our abilities, we thank you for this day. You have made all things for your purpose. We thank you for your presence, your grace, and mercies, which are new every morning. Thank you for the Jamaica 4-H Clubs and the work that it is doing in developing the youths of this country. Today we join in this historic moment to celebrate the National Virtual Achievement Day. Lord, you made it possible because all things are possible with you. Father, we pray that you will bless and strengthen each staff member, clubite, leader, parent, volunteer, stakeholder, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, and the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information that have supported the Jamaica 4-H Clubs. We pray also that you will bless those that will partner with this organization even after today, Father. We pray, Lord, that our nation, for this nation, Father, you will guide our leaders and mold the minds of our youths. Guide this nation to its greatness that is already instilled in your people, Father. Lord, we pray that as we strive to make the best better, we will not just do it for ourselves, but for our community, our country, and our world. As we commit everything in your name today, Father, the name Jesus Christ, we say amen.
Amen, and we want to thank O'Shane very much for that. And of course, let me just, for those of you who are joining us on Zoom, I want to lay some ground rules for you, because on Zoom, on that Zoom platform, we want to ensure that we're able to keep you on the platform. And as a result of that, we're going to ask you to observe the protocols of good meeting. When you're in a meeting room, we want you to ensure that you're turning off your devices that might create a challenge. We're also going to ask that what you do is you turn off your microphones unless you are required to speak. The persons who are going to be sharing on Zoom, you will be spotlighted, so we'll know exactly who you are. The rest of you, please, 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 we ask that you turn off your devices in terms of the audio. If you do not do that, we will have no choice but to take you out of the system. And we don't want to do that because, of course, we want you to enjoy the wonderful experience that we've all come in here today to share in. So the theme for today is food diversification, combating climate change. I'm Agri-Smart, and I'm saying yes to fresh. Let me greet warmly Executive Director Dr. Ronald Blake, IC Director of Field Services Mr. Garfield Ewart, Public Relations and Marketing Manager Carol McCormack. We share the stage here today, and of course you heard Ted Roy Gordon, and we are also having some sharing going on out of Trinidad. So it is quite an experience that we're going to be having here today. I want to let you know ahead of the official ceremony that comes up at 1 o'clock, so you can listen out for that, watch out for that. We're going to be sharing in all of that a little bit later on. But one of the things that I want to get out of the way, and I did have other information that I was going to share this morning. But I tell you what happened is that when we have a hurricane coming, sometimes we just have to go in a different direction. So let me just give you some information for those of you who do not yet know that Elsa, which was a tropical storm yesterday, is now a hurricane. And Hurricane Elsa actually formed over the waters of the Atlantic Ocean early Friday, just west of the Caribbean island of Barbados, one day after the system became the 5th named storm of 2021. And weather forecasters, they're expecting the cyclone to continue as a hurricane. They're monitoring Elsa, and right here in Jamaica, we are monitoring as well. So I want to tell you something. Those of you who are small farmers, large farmers, in-between farmers, wherever it is that you're from, you need to sit up and pay attention to what is happening. So while we're having fun here with the Jamaica 4-H clubs at this National Virtual Achievement Day, we want the rest of you on the outside to continue doing all of the preparations, because it is going to be very critical that you do that. And please, do not sit back and say, okay, we are a praying nation and so it's going to turn somewhere. We want you to be prepared. That is what we need to do at this point in time. I'm not going to waste a lot of time today because I believe it is important for us to get through as quickly as possible. I'm bearing in mind the fact that there are some people who are going to have to leave and travel far distances to get back. Even though we're having a small operation, some people have come from far to share in this virtual experience today. And so what I'm going to do right away is to turn things over to Carol McCormack. She's Public Relations and Marketing Manager. And Carol comes to us to give us an overview of the day's activities. And let me tell you something, it promises to be absolutely fantastic and amazing. And I'm glad I'm here, and I'm happy you're here too. Carol, over to you.
Thank you again, Althea. Indeed, today is special. You would have heard it, and we're going to continue to say it, that it is the first ever virtual National Achievement Expo being staged by the Jamaica 4-H clubs. And we also dub it the virtual experience. So what can we expect? So let's just paint the picture. Usually, you are at Denby Showground in Clarendon at the end of April. And you are all over the grounds. You're looking at all the displays. You would have seen some of the competitive events in action. And of course, we close out with our official ceremony and prize giving and the presentation of the Clover Awards. So do you now have that picture in your mind? Do you have that memory locked? Okay, so you would have. So I want you now to take that memory now and put it in the virtual space. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So it's all that you're used to at Denby in a virtual space. So what are we going to be having? We're going to be showing you video highlights of the competitive events. Now, for those in the know, you would know that annually we would have up to 30 competitive events. But of course, we're operating in different times, and we may continue to operate in different times going forward. So as a result of that, as a result of the COVID pandemic, the restrictions in terms of face-to-face training and all of that, we decided that we were going to take those numbers in terms of competitive events down to 12. So we're working with the magical 12 this time around. And the 12 will also include new events. So you're going to be seeing videos depicting the family composting event. That's a new event. You're going to be hearing the 4-H jingle. You are coming out of the jingle competition. Public speaking, budding, for the youngsters, table setting, and all those other events. So we're going to be showing you video highlights of that. Also, what we're going to be showing you is training. Because you know 4-H, that is the hallmark of 4-H, training. And we're going to be showing you training again, that picture you would have, how we normally do training, and how we have had to pivot, as the word is these days, in terms of virtual training. Added to that, agricultural technology. Technology, we cannot subtract ourselves from that. From the cell phone that you have in your hand to different technologies in terms of how to enhance agricultural productivity, we're going to be showing you that as well. And we're not just going to be showing you videos. My co-host and I, Althea, we're going to be having some interaction here in-house and with you on the platform. We're also going to be tickling your brain matter a little, because we're going to be throwing out some 4-H trivia, and you stand a chance to win some wonderful prizes. So kind of get the little ticker ticking now in terms of everything 4-H. All right? Then now, we're going to get a little bit more sober in the afternoon in terms of the official ceremony and prize-giving exercise. And again, for those in the know, that is when, yes, we have the speeches and we tell you all about what 4-H has been doing over the year, but we also make the presentations for the prizes. Again, going back to that Denby picture, you're not going to be walking on a physical platform, but you're going to be on a virtual platform in more ways than one to collect your prizes. And we're going to show you exactly how that will be done. The Clover Award, which is the highest award that the Jamaica 4-H clubs presents to not only outstanding 4-Hers, but also outstanding Jamaicans. Again, we're going to be presenting that. And then we're going to be closing out the day with the virtual entertainment experience. And this entertainment experience is not only local. Oh no, we're taking it international. So you will also be seeing items and acts from our friends in Latin America, from our friends in the Caribbean. So it promises to be a day of chock full excitement. So for all of you on Zoom, for all of you on Facebook Live and Clover TV on YouTube, I want you to call all your friends right now, because we want these platforms to be bursting like no other way. And stay with us throughout the day for the virtual experience in the virtual 4-H National Achievement Expo, held under the theme Food Diversification Combating Climate Change, with the tagline, I am agri-smart and I'm saying yes to fresh. So you stick and stay for that and much more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karel. I'm kind of feeling like I should have been somewhere watching this with all of this excitement that Karel has just described. I know we're going to have an absolutely fantastic time. And let us just remind you what that theme is. food diversification, combating climate change, and the tagline, I'm agri-smart and I'm saying yes to fresh. So all of this is tying in beautifully. It's a narrative of change and development that we're experiencing in the Jamaica 4-H clubs. And as Carol said, we have had to pivot, not just in the Jamaica 4-H clubs, but generally, as we continue to focus on all things agriculture in this country of ours. But the Jamaica 4-H clubs is not just about agriculture. I talk agriculture every day, but the Jamaica 4-H clubs is about training our young people and the in-between and the older people to be their best selves. And of course, we have them to thank for the outstanding and amazing accomplishments that we have seen. So whether it is young people who have received a scholarship that is taking them, the Rio Tinto scholarship that is taking them through high school or taking them through their university or college experience, or they are going off to Earth University in Costa Rica. It is about celebrating our young people, celebrating the work that they're doing, and about the fact that they're giving back to Jamaica. But of course, very importantly, we use this platform today to share their accomplishments and their achievements. And so what we're going to be doing now, as Carol told you, is we're going to be streaming some of what has gone on in terms of the competition. And so we're now going to share with you highlights of the public speaking, youth farmer, agri-innovation, and of course, I hear that we should take Dr. Blake first. Is that it? All right, no. All right, so Carol is also producing on site too, so she's giving me instructions. And so what we're going to be doing then is turning our attention to the stream team, right? There is a team. Carol, come back up here because you have your finger on the pulse of how it is that Jamaica 4-H clubs operates. I am just the sidekick today, so come up and tell us exactly what is going to be happening and give us a better understanding of how the stream team will operate.
All right. Thanks again, Althea. So you just heard Althea say that we're going to be looking at some highlights of competitive events. And you would have heard me say earlier that we had to do things a little bit different in terms of the competitive events. But before we get into showing you those events, I have my team here with me they're going to tell you a little bit of what to expect, what was really behind the idea of arriving at these events, because these events are not just events that we picked out of a hat. They were strategic in terms of how we had to pivot in terms of training and the times that we're operating in. So let me introduce the stream team, as you would have heard. And I'm going to start from the outside and work my way in. So to my extreme right, we have Mr. Garfield Ewart, who is the Director of Field Services. He's taking off his glasses so you can see him a little better. Beside him is Miss Bernetta Carr, who is our National Training and Placement Coordinator. And beside her is Miss Keisha McNeil, who is the Parish Manager for St. James, but at this time is also acting as the Regional Manager for the Western Region. And I want you to listen when I say Western Region. You never can tell. That could be part of the trivia later. So, my stream team, we're going to be seeing some videos in terms of the competitive events. But of course, you just heard me say that the competitive events are, like the event itself, special. So Mr. Ewart, I'm going to start with you, and I hope you can use that microphone and amplify. So Mr. Ewart, thanks again for being here. Now, we selected 12 competitive events. Yes, you're on. We selected 12 competitive events. Mr. Ewart, give us an idea as to why these events were specifically selected.
Okay, thank you, Ms. McCormack. Good morning to our listeners here and out there on our virtual platform. This year, as you are aware, we are not able to have our traditional face-to-face achievement day, and hence we opt for the virtual edition. This is the first time we are having this event using this format. Traditionally, we usually have up to 35 competitive events. This year we have reduced the numbers to just 13 events because we are online, and to make it more manageable, we selected 13 events. But the idea behind the selection of these events, they are in line with our theme, food diversification, combating climate change. And of course, in addition, it is aligned to our tagline, Agri-Smart, saying yes to fresh. Now, these events that were selected is a combination of agricultural and agricultural-related events. Now, we have our traditional youth ambassador event and our public speaking along with others. But these events were selected to showcase what the Jamaica 4-H Clubs is doing currently as it relates to promotion of agri-technology, highlighting our youth farmers, and giving all our members an opportunity to participate in the 13 events that were selected. So all our clubites in the different age groups, they had an opportunity to participate in one of these events.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ewart. So you see, even though we had to restrict the number of events, everybody still has an opportunity to participate. So I'm now going to move to Ms. Carr quickly, because I know you're raring to go to see these videos. So Ms. Carr, you are training and placement coordinator, and I want you to just give me a general overview in terms of these events in particular and what really went into having these particular events for National Achievement Expo.
Thank you very much, Ms. McCormack. All right, so the idea behind selecting all these events, as Mr. Ewart reiterated, is that we wanted to embrace our theme, food diversification, combating climate change, and more so to empower members, our members and Jamaicans on a whole in agriculture, home economics, social, and leadership skills. Today's event basically is a culmination of our training sessions that were done island-wide, and so our participants were trained to embrace and to enhance their skills, and to stimulate interest in other training areas. Now, our competitive events caters to students ages as early as 5 years, right? It encourages persons to participate as an individual, as a group, and also it's a family event, right? So today we are here to salute all our participants for showcasing their knowledge and skills in our various training activities, and more so to highlight our culinary challenge and our agriculture related activities. So we implore you to view our top challenge videos as our participants showcase their talents and skills throughout the club.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Carr. And last but by no means least, Ms. McNeil, parish managers, they basically hit the ground running. They put the pedal to the metal, as they would say. Just tell us quickly, the word pivot, we had to change things. How different is it now in terms of used to having the face-to-face interface in terms of training, and what it is that you have to do now in terms of the digital version, so to speak?
Okay, good morning everyone, and thank you very much, Ms. McCormack. So yes, it was a whole new ball game starting in 2020. And of course, we had to go online now. Not so much face-to-face, because sometimes we could do a little of that depending on what numbers were allowed. But for the majority of what we had to do, online training. Zoom, we did recording of videos, posted them on our YouTube channels or Facebook channels, Instagram. Some persons have TikTok, and we use even Google Meet for the teachers in the Google Classroom. So for parish managers, it was about our creativity now and finding ways and means to get the word out there just the same, get the clubs registered just the same, to have them participate in our virtual training sessions. And since we were unable to do face-to-face as we were used to.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Ewart, Ms. Carr, and Ms. McNeil. So ladies and gentlemen, you have it. You heard the words alignment, innovation, creativity. And now, without any further ado, I now give you our competitive events videos. Sit back and enjoy, and of course, learn what the 4-H Clubs has to offer.
Jania, what you doing with computer so early in the morning? You're not getting ready for school?
Mommy, I'm designing a rabbit hutch.
Really? What you know about rabbit hutch?
Mommy, I know that it should set in an east to west direction, have a backboard facing the prevailing wind, a rainproof roof, board if possible for sitting on, make space between the board so urine and hard feces can pass.
But I would want those hard feces. Where you want to waste them, Jania?
Mommy, it can contaminate the rabbit feed and may even give them diseases.
Oh, well, I could collect it from underneath.
Yes, Mommy, that is correct.
Then what about the soft feces?
Mommy, those soft feces, they eat those soft feces. Rabbits practice corpophagia. It contains extra nutrients. Unlike the goat and the cow that chews cud, rabbits have a simple stomach.
Oh, well. So, Jania, what type of rabbit you going to put in that hutch?
Well, did you know that the 4-H club has a rabbitry?
Where?
Rosal.
Montego Bay?
No, Mommy. St. Catherine.
What type of rabbit they have up there?
They have the New Zealand black and white, both weighing 9 or more pounds. The New Zealand black has black fur. The New Zealand white has white fur and pink around its eye, pink in its ears, and pink in its nose. Its ears are long and direct. There are other types of rabbit that they have. They have the Salisbury, the California, weighing 8 to 10.5 pounds. It has a black spot on its nose, black on its ears. They also have the Flemish Dane, weighing 14 or more pounds. You can find it in colors such as sandy steel, blue or fawn.
Well, may I go up for 4-H go get some rabbit. I can't put them in your coop, right?
No, Mommy.
Why not?
Always disinfect. Mommy, quarantine is COVID time. Quarantine a rabbit before putting it into a new rabbitry.
Okay, I will do that. So, no, Nia, you see you're very craving to, you know. So, me have to go buy feed that the rabbit there?
No, Mommy. I can go outside and pick some Spanish needle, water grass, or king grass. And I can even save up my lunch money and buy rabbit pellets. If none of those aren't available, I'll buy pig pellets.
Like how no friend fall up here that the rabbit may all catch cold. It don't even make sense.
No, Mommy. No, Mommy. No, Mommy. Rabbits can't catch cold. Yes, they may catch snuffles, which is a disease that causes the rabbit to cough, sneeze, and also a runny nose. I can treat it with antibiotics.
Well, any other diseases that they may have, my dear?
Yes, coccidiosis. It is a protozoan that is inside of the gut and it affects young rabbits.
So what you going to use to treat that?
Sulfamazine.
Oh.
So you would treat it with giving it water. Go for 3 days, break the cycle, and continue the cycle. By the way, Mommy, you know that you always throw away scraps. I can use those.
What kind of scraps may I dash away?
Lettuce leaves, cabbage leaves, and some piece of carrot.
True. So what you going to do with them?
I can give them to my rabbits, but I will never ever use those tomato leaves that you always thought. It will cause the rabbit to die.
So all of those, me can pack them up in a big crocus bag, not true?
No, Mommy, never overfeed your rabbit. Waiting 2 to 3 months. Always give your rabbit as much as they want. From 4 to 5 months now, you can give them 100 grams per day.
So how am I going to remember all of them based up there, Jania?
You can keep record keeping, litter record, birth record, buck and door record, medical record.
True. So,
Yes.
boy, rabbit hutch, I got dirty still, you know.
Always disinfect your rabbit hutch and make it easy to clean.
Yeah, through a COVID time, we have to make sure so we keep things clean. All right then, Nia. Later.
We, the Abilities Foundation team, have really come up with some innovative ways in which we can change or divert with climate change. We have seen that there's a great need for climate change. How we plant and grow our stuff is of very importance. So we have come up with an hydroponic system in which we can use this to grow our plants, our fruit, our vegetables, of course, on the school compound. My team member here, Ms. Scarlett Williams, will tell us more about the reservoir, starting from the bottom up, how the system works.
This here is the reservoir, and the inside, as I was saying, this is the reservoir and the hydroponic system. Inside this reservoir it contains the water, the submersible pump, and a hose that is attached to the pump, and the pump pushes the water up in the grow bed. There's also a pipe in here that the water drains out. Mrs. Hallin?
On top here we find our grow bed. This is known as a grow bed system. Inside here we find our gravel or our medium as per se. Here this is our saffron. When the water from the reservoir comes up through the pipe area here and it resuscitates back, the saffron itself kicks in and subdue the water back down to the reservoir. And this is how the recycling process evolves. So once the water goes down, if you look down here, you will see
the water coming,
the water draining back down, and this is how it recycles. And if we have our fish in here, whether it's edible fish or ornamental fish, the fertilizer from the fish waste is what is used to treat the plants. So this is how the system is functioned at the Abilities Foundation. What we want to do is to extend our hydroponic system so we can have more crops planted, so we can feed or supply more persons on a daily basis. Presently, this hydroponic system can cycle for a family of 4, and we want to grow. As it relates to climate change, we are working towards it. We have seen that there is a need for change, and we are trying to make it happen. So when we sensitize our trainees who are here with us today, they'll be planting seedlings. So this is Amelia and Francine, and they'll be planting the seedling for us today. Okay, as I said before, the grow bed system, it doesn't work with any soil. We only use stones, medium or gravel, not stones, I must apologize. The medium or the gravel, and once the pipe or the grow bed is filled, the saffron kicks in, which is right here. So once that drains back, everything goes back down into the reservoir, and the water recycles all over. So that is the process of how we sustained our vegetables in the hydroponic system. Our trainees will demonstrate how we put our plants, our seedlings, into the gravel.
Cover it with. No, ma'am. Take your time. Yeah, I'm sure I talk. Come here, go to plant. Use that moment. You need, no man, this needs to be straight. It needs to be straight. Oh, you need another oil. You need another oil. Who is that? This one. That is yours and this is yours. Wouldn't mind our the system did continue now, because we got to start off everything in this system. No! Right here. Because you're digging out back this plant. Good morning, sir. I am teaching. I am showing her how to do it because
Okay. Planting, finish planting?
Yeah, don't be dependent. You should have come here. So. Anyway, put it here.
The planting put one then, but when hard. The two young ladies, they're going to plant seeds in your house.
Yeah, hold it by the side now. Yeah.
Alright, thank you very much, Francine. Anywhere the space is, don't go too near the stop.
Can't go in the middle. Yes, you can go in the middle.
Stop, you ready?
Yeah, man.
So it's on 2030 of Jamaica, as well as for armed justice with a cause. We need to see more young persons, more individuals using this opportunity to galvanize more young persons in the agricultural sector. It is a very lucrative business, and it's an also opportune time. Sorry, can we repeat? Opportune time to get involved. Each one, reach one. It's a perfect opportunity for young people to come together to use their creative juices. As simple as a barrel, a PVC pipe, gravel. We're coming together to make the change that we want to see in generations to come. Will you be the change? Act now. Grow what you eat. Get your children involved. Get your neighbors involved. Get your community involved. This is the step to making Jamaica a better place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I attend the Yorkasa High School. I'm a part of the Yorkasa High School 4-H club, and I'm entering the Young Farmer competition. I love farming, and it is a great thing to do. These are pictures of the seeds that I have sowed, some of them, and tomato and pak choy. I sow them in trays using potting soil, and I water them when needed, and then they are placed in a shade house. The shade house blocks the young seedlings from the direct sunlight until the seeds have hatched properly. Then they are placed where they can get sunlight. A method of preparing land can be by spraying with herbicides such as gramazone or glyphosate, and it can also be by using a cutlass to get rid of the grass off the surface of the land. By method of preparing land for seedling planting or seed planting can be using a fork or a hoe to get the land soft. The hoe will give you rows and the fork will give you holes. Now this is a video of how you use a hoe. That is my pak choy bed. I will be planting my suckers. So first is my sweet peppers. So there they are, they're beautiful. So this is how you plant them. So it's best to transplant in the evening so that the plants won't be burnt by the sun to affect their growth and cause wiltering. The grass on the land also helps to provide mulch for the crops and prevent the effect of heavy rains on causing erosion. Also, the grass is placed around the plantain and banana roots to break down and give the plants nutrients. The grass is also used on the land around the plant roots as a form of mulch to secure and save water in the soil. Some of it is also heaped up so it can form compost. One thing when fertilizing, you should not place the fertilizer too close to the root of the plant or it can cause the plant to burn down and die. For the fungicide, I use a Staragol and Caratrax as insecticide to prevent insects from biting the crops. I add my mixture according to the packaging. I spray the crops by pumping the spray pan and pressing the trigger to release, and I spray all of their leaves to ensure that they are well coated with the chemicals. Being that I don't have an irrigation system now, I'll be using these and just be boring a small hole. Then I'll leave it like this, which it will then continue to leak water to keep the soil moist and allow the sweet peppers to not die off the sun heat. That's it now. And I wear protective gears such as mask and a glove to protect the chemicals from coming into contact with. So when the crops are fit for harvesting, if it is enough to sell some, I would sell some, and I will always keep back some for household use, and I would harvest them when they reach full maturity. I also will keep the money spinning in the farming business because you don't want to run out of chemicals for your next crop and fertilizer. I also practice water harvesting. When we catch the water, it is used in the household and also on the farm. The importance of record keeping include tell you when to plant and harvest, when to spray, when to weed, and it also helps to predict price changes and also tells you how much you have profited and lost and expenditures. It also tells you when to buy new tools and the amount of tools you own on the farm and when to plant new seeds.
Hi, my name is Akira Natalia Davis. I am 6 years old. I attend Unity Primary School. Today we're going to be learning about seed identification.
What is a seed?
A seed is a part of a plant that grows into a new plant.
What are the different parts of a seed?
The embryo, the stored food, the seed coat.
So what's the embryo?
The embryo is where the baby plant is.
And stored food?
It gives the baby plant the nutrients.
And the seed coat?
It protects the seed.
Good girl. So show me the seeds that you have in your book now. And their uses.
Okay. The beans, it can be eaten and it's good for your blood sugar. The tamarind seed, it's used to make eye drops for dry eyes. The corn seed, it can be eaten and it's good for your skin. The watermelon seed, it's used to make snacks and sweets and it's good for a mouth freshener. The jackfruit seed, it can be eaten and it's good for your eyes. The pumpkin seed, it can be eaten and it's good for your heart. The ackee seed, it's used to make medicine for fever and cold. The orange seed, it can be eaten and it's used to make oil. The June plum, it's good for headache and heart. The mango seed, it's good for dandruff and your hair.
So what is the importance of a seed?
So people can eat it, plant it, and people in the future can make furniture and juice.
What is germination?
When a seed grows into a seedling.
Tell me, how did you germinate your seeds? What did you do?
I plant them and I water them.
How did you germinate your seeds?
I dig a hole, I put the seed in, I water it, and a few days I saw a little leaf coming up.
Okay, so did you water it every day?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey guys, my name is Maurice Lee.
And I'm Dina Mel, and today we're going to talk a little bit about composing. When you normally hear about composing, the first thing that comes to mind is, what is composing? What do we use to make composing? So composing is the breaking down of organic materials, whether it is brown or it is green materials. Composing is very useful for inexpensive fertilizer. You can use it on your land, you can use it on your farm, you can use it for gardening. We have 3 different types of composing. We have aerobic, anaerobic, and vermicomposting.
However, we will be focusing on the aerobic composting. Now we will take you through how we normally do our composting on a weekly basis. Let's take a walk with us on the farm.
Let's go, guys.
So now, as we have said before, we're doing aerobic composting, and this consists of air that has been introduced to help break down the material quickly. Now, because we're doing aerobic composting, we need to turn our compost every few days, and this will also help bacteria to break down the high nitrogen content scraps, and the temperature that is from the compost heap will get higher, and this will help the speedy process of the compost. This is what our decomposed fertilizer looks like. Now we are adding some around our sweet peppers on the farm. This fertilizer is also inexpensive because we have made it from materials from our kitchen and in our environment. So as you can see, we're cutting up our materials in the compost heap. Grinding, cutting and shredding materials increases the surface area on which the microorganisms can feed.
Right here, we are adding our fresh material to our compost heap that we made last week. Whenever you're doing a compost, you have to control the decomposition. It requires a proper balance of green organic matter, include food scraps, grass clippings, and manure, which contain a large amount of nitrogen. Brown organic matter include dry leaf, wood chips, and branches, which contain a large amount of carbon. After adding our nutrients balance to the compost, we will normally add fall manure and also water. Moisture may come from a rainfall or intentionally watering. Moisture is very important because living organisms in a compost pile need enough moisture to survive.
My name is Denise, representing the lush green parish of Westmoreland. Today, I'll be showing you how to blanch your vegetables. I choose this method so that I can always have my vegetables when they are out of season or if I have them in excess. This way, my vegetables will be fresh for up to a year when stored at the correct freezing temperature of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. And when you're smart, you'll definitely say yes to fresh. The vegetables that I'll be using today for my stir-fried veggie mix are zucchini, radish, string bean, carrots, and sweet pepper. And for my frozen soup veggie mix are pumpkin, corn, turnip, and okra. Always remember, when selecting your vegetables to preserve, they must always be fresh, crispy, bright in colors, firm to the touch, free from worms, bruises, and blemishes. For they're bright in color, the radish is bright in color, the okra, it's green and crispy, along with the string bean, and the corn is bright in color, along with the pumpkin and the zucchini. We are going to prepare the stir-fried veggie mix. Vegetables are already pre-washed on the cold running water. If you notice, I am working from a stainless steel surface. So let's begin. This is the zucchini, and I'm slicing them, then I'll be cutting them in quarters. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and cut my radish in circles. Now I'm cutting my string beans. I'm gonna cut them in halves. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start blanching my vegetables. As you can see, I already have prepared my ice cold water to shock the vegetables to start the cooking process, and I also prepare a tray with napkins to dry or drain my vegetables. So I'm gonna go ahead and blanch the zucchini and the radish. So the water is now boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my vegetables. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it in the ice water to shock it for 3 minutes. And also my zucchini is ready. Now I'm gonna go ahead and drain my radish and my zucchini. So my vegetables are ready. They are already drained, and remember, the same time you blanch them for, it's the same time you chop them for in the ice water. For the sweet pepper, you blanch it for only 30 seconds. Now I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my vegetables for my frozen soup veggie mix. Now I'm gonna go ahead and dice my pumpkin.
So my vegetables are now ready for my frozen soup veggie mix, and I'm just gonna go ahead and clean the area. So this is my pumpkin, this is my okra, this is my corn, and this is my turnip. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blanch my corn for 5 minutes. So my stir-fried veggie mix is ready to be packaged, and also my frozen soup veggie mix. So I'm gonna go ahead and start packaging in my freezer bag. I'm now completing the packages for my soup mix. So my stir-fried veggie mix is packaged and ready to be weighed. So there you have it. It says 800 grams. I'm gonna go ahead and seal it. This is my veggie soup mix, and I'm gonna go ahead and weigh it, and it says 800 grams as well. I'm gonna go ahead and seal it now. So there you have it, my stir-fried veggie mix and my frozen soup veggie mix. They are all packaged, sealed, dated, and weighed, and ready to be frozen. There you have it for my stir-fried veggie mix. It consists of zucchini, radish, string beans, carrots, and sweet peppers. And for my frozen soup veggie mix, it consists of pumpkin, corn, turnip, and okra. So you can go ahead and take a look at them. They're all colorful and in different shapes. Stir-fry veggie mix, you can use this when you're stir-frying your vegetables, and for your soup mix, you already have a pre-packed frozen soup veggie mix. As you can see, this is a good alternative of preserving your vegetables. So I would encourage you all to jump on board. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Chanel Peart, a member of the Decatur College 4-H Club. For this year, the event I'll be participating in is the Culinary Challenge, saying yes to fresh by eating locally diverse foods. Join me in the kitchen and I'll show you how I prepare a balanced hearty-cold salad for a family of 3. Welcome to the kitchen, where I'll be preparing a salad entitled Purslane Dasheen Salad. So let's get into the video and you'll see how I prepare my salad. Purslane Dasheen Salad. Once you harvest the plant, you'll need to remove the roots and wash individual stems thoroughly. The leaves, stems, and flower buds are all edible, but the larger stems can be removed if desired. Purslane is a herbaceous plant from the purslane family. The body is flat on soil, leaves are oval, smooth and fleshy. Stems are yellow and reddish. For this recipe, you'll need 1.5 cup purslane shredded. You can remove larger stems if desired. Two corns on the cob. They are boiled and then cut from the cob. 1 pound dasheen diced. Dasheen is peeled and washed and cut into strips. Slice the dasheen into uniform pieces. Cut each into sticks. You can cut each at a time or in a stack. Now cut into cubes. Three-quarter pound fish fillet cut into bite-sized pieces, along with half cup of carrot and tomato, onion and garlic chopped, and black pepper and salt to taste, and mayonnaise. Bring a pot of salted water to a boil, then add dasheen and allow to cook until soft and tender. While the dasheen is cooking, heat 8 tablespoons vegetable oil in a wide pan over a medium flame. Add the fish fillet and fry until golden brown. Now that the fish fillet is being fried, the cooking of the carbohydrate is being completed. Apart from carbohydrate, dasheen is also rich in potassium, calcium, vitamin C, E, and B. Dasheen is incredibly versatile and presents a gluten-free and fiber-rich alternative to many dishes. The best part is that dasheen is tasty, affordable, and can be grown in your backyard. Now it is time to check if the dasheen is cooked. Once they can be easily sliced, then it is ready. But I'll allow this to cook for another 2 minutes because it is not tender enough and the calcium oxalate must be removed, which is often linked with kidney stones, and we don't want that. So ensure that your dasheen is sufficiently cooked. I am checking to make sure that all pieces are properly fried so they all have uniformity in appearance. Add chopped onion and garlic over a medium flame and saute for 1 minute before adding tomato. I usually add the tomato a few minutes later so that it does not lose the nutrient and the color. Now add the carrot. The carrot adds additional color and nutrient to the dish. And add sweet pepper. Now stir fry and allow the carrot to cook for 2 to 3 minutes and add black pepper. Water is drained from the dasheen to allow sufficient time for cooling to be placed in the salad. And add water to stop the cooking process. The water also helps to cool it quicker. Now add the purslane. Purslane is an excellent source of vitamins A and C, protects cardiovascular health, accelerates blood circulation, helps in treatment of some digestive system diseases, increases vision power, helps lose weight, and so much more. Stir vegetable to allow even cooking. Add salt to taste and butter and allow it to steam for 1 to 2 minutes, as purslane is really easy to cook, so you don't need to cook it for too long to lose all the nutritive value. You can now remove the purslane. Add cooked purslane to a bowl Then add dasheen, half cup corn cut from the cob, add fish fillet, now add 3 to 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. You can add another tablespoon depending on how creamy you want it. Now stir until the mayonnaise is evenly distributed. This salad is a very creative way of preparing these unusual foods to make it tasty and appealing to the appetite. Add pineapple wedges and tomato slices as garnish to the salad, or any other fruits of your choice. Serve and enjoy.
Man, I'm telling you, lots of excitement being created here. I really want to talk about how outstanding these young people are, and we congratulate them for the great work, the excellent work. One of the things about doing this virtually is that we couldn't show you everything that went on behind the scenes in terms of the production of these videos, but amazing, amazing work from our young people. And of course, they'll receive their prizes a little later on. Carol explained to you that that will be done virtually as well. And how are we going to do that? Well, you just have to stay with us so you can see. But right now we want to do some giveaways, because part of the excitement of a 4-H National Achievement Day is just giving away something just for the joy of giving. That is what we're supposed to be doing. And so I'm going to invite Carol McCormack to come back up and tell you what she has to give away. Quite frankly, I don't know what she has to give away. I don't know if she's going to give me anything. I doubt it. I doubt it. Carol, are getting anything? Carol says no. She's laughing at me.
It's a secret. All right. Thanks, Althea. So I hope you have been enjoying the videos, and I hope you have been learning something. And of course, I hope you have been calling your friends and tell them, say, look here, man, 4-H live and direct. You need to come and watch, right? Alrighty. So it's trivia time. Remember I told you, get the little ticker, the noggin working. All right, so how are we going to do this now? So remember, we're on Zoom, we're on Facebook Live, and we are on YouTube via Clover TV. And I am just only going to be asking the questions because I have my team who will be monitoring all the platforms. So you're going to answer in the chat. You're not going to ball out. You're going to type the answer, and they will acknowledge you as winners. So we have the questions in categories, all right? Because we want everybody to have a chance. So we have questions for the parents or the teachers who are online. We have questions for the clubites. We have questions for the cubbies, you know, those are a little shorter than my waistline. Yes. We have open questions. And Dr. Blake, please don't answer. Neither Mr. Virgo. Good. All right. And we have questions based on the event. So you need to be watching and listening. So Here are the questions. And as I say, you are going to respond on the platform. You're not going to ball it out. All right? So, question number 1. And this is for the category for the parents or the teachers. And them easy, you know, easy, easy, cheesy, cheesy. So the question is, who is the executive director of the Jamaica 4-H clubs? Althea, put on your hand. All right. So that's the first question, and that's for either you're a parent or you're a teacher. So please answer in the chat. We have monitors taking note of the answers. And, oh, I should have tell you what you're going to win. You stand to win a gift basket courtesy of Heart Foundation. All right? Good. So for that's the parents and the teachers, and the question again is, who is the executive director of the Jamaica 4-H clubs? Now, for the clubite, here is your question. When was the Jamaica 4-H clubs established? Again, when was the Jamaica 4-H clubs established? And that's for clubites only, right? And what will you get for that? Or only education sponsor, RADA Education. You're going to get a book courtesy of RADA Education. And we can tell you, so the book then look nice, you see? And they're nice books, all right? No storybook, textbooks. Okay, great. And you will also get with that a gift bag courtesy of Columbina. Columbina is the brand, and that's Mega Marketing Limited. So again, the question for clubites only, when was the Jamaica 4-H clubs established? For the cubbies, for my little ones, those between ages 5 and 8, your question is, what are the 4-H colors? Easy, man, me I tell you. What are the 4-H colors? And you too will also get a nice gift bag courtesy of Columbina. And again, answers in the chat only. The open question, so anybody can answer. I'll tell you, can put up 2 hands now. All right. Listen now. The Jamaica 4-H clubs offers a program that supports youth farmers. Let me say that again. The Jamaica 4-H clubs offers a program that supports youth farmers. Simple, simple. What is the name of the program? And anybody can answer that. That's an open question. And what will you get? Of course, since we're talking about youth farmers, you can get 5 packets of seeds, right? And the 5 packets of seed, you can get pak choy, callaloo, sweet pepper, tomato, scotch bonnet. You see how many things? That is enough to season the pot. You see? All right. And the last question, and now this is based on the event, and I think for this one, anybody can answer as well. List, and I hope you are paying attention, list 3 of the competitive events conducted for this expo. We spoke about them earlier. List 3 competitive events that we chose for this expo. And for that, you can win for yourself. And again, this is courtesy of RADA Education, stationery cup, purse, pencils, and pens. So you post your answers in the chat. Our team will acknowledge you and tell you how you can collect your prizes. All right? And this is not the only trivia section. We'll have more. And, you know, before I go, and this is not trivia now, this is true thing. Later, we're going to be having the prize giving exercise. And what we used to know as the 4-H Boy and Girl of the Year has been rebranded the 4-H Youth Ambassadors. You know what they're going to win? Apart from being named Youth Ambassadors, $1 million each. Yes, $1 million each. and it is for their enterprise as well as to help them to continue their educational pursuits. So you see, lots in store, so stick around for that. We'll be hearing much more. So I'm going to now throw back to Althea. And remember, put your answers in the chat and our teams will acknowledge you. Thank you.
I think Carol is very cruel, because Carol knows that she has already given me all of those answers at some point in time during the conversations that we've had. So I'm not going to answer. I'm going to leave it to the different people in the different categories so that they can respond to the questions. And Carol, I already know that there are people who are asking, so when are we going to get the prizes? Carol will tell you that a little bit later on. But lots more excitement to come. You've had the trivia and the giveaways. I see my other team getting into position, because in not too long from now we're going to be coming to them. But right now, what we are going to be doing, we're going to be taking some short messages from the agencies. And it is important for us to acknowledge the partnerships that the Jamaica 4-H clubs, they have forged over the years. We're running behind time, so even though my next team is in position, we are going to be taking some recorded messages from the agencies. Those partnerships that the Jamaica 4-H clubs has built over the years, they are very critical to continuity. The Jamaica 4-H clubs, they have been doing an amazing job, but I tell you something, they don't get to be 110,000 strong without some kind of assistance. So let us just listen to what the agencies have to say.
The Jamaica 4-H Clubs, the leading youth training agency, is a statutory body under the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. It has the mandate of training youth between the ages of 5 and 35 years in the areas of agriculture, agro-processing, entrepreneurship, healthy lifestyle, leadership, and environmental awareness. Now celebrating over 80 years of existence, the Jamaica 4-H Clubs was born on April 1, 1940 as a juvenile arm of the Jamaica Agricultural Society. It currently has a general membership of over 105,000 from over 1,000 clubs in early childhood, primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, as well as from clubs found in communities, churches, correctional facilities, and schools for students with special needs. It also boasts a large cadre of volunteers, over 5,000 strong, comprising of members of the Island Advisor Council, the National Leaders Association, and the Junior Leaders League. The Jamaica 4-H Clubs is also recognized internationally among the membership of the Global 4-H Network and is currently the second largest 4-H group in the world. This speaks volumes of its impact locally and internationally. It also has membership in the Caribbean 4-H Council and in the past has hosted regional caucuses of this Caribbean grouping. The 4-H Clubs is a catalyst for increased youth involvement in agriculture and associated industries. The organization provides opportunities through youth in agriculture by increasing the number of youth entrants by 15% over the next 4 years, youth in agripreneurship by providing training and inputs to 5,000 aspiring youth farmers by 2025, agricultural technology and innovation by being the largest provider of agricultural scholarships, numbering well over 300 annually, training by providing over 500,000 mastery and stimulatory training to persons under the age of 35, food security, food diversification, and climate-smart agricultural practices by developing and maintaining over 700 public school gardens and the expansion of the Home Gardening Initiative. Going forward, we will provide more opportunities for rural women, youth in fisheries, paving the way for access to 20% of government agricultural lands, and increased access to agricultural technology. For more on these and other 4-H initiatives, contact the Jamaica 4-H Clubs at 876-927-40502 or follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also visit our website at jamaica4hclubs.com. The Jamaica 4-H Clubs is agri-smart, and we continue to make the best better for Jamaican youth.
Eating well is important. Food with good nutrients. Just ask our farmers. Food with good nutrients can boost our immune system. We can get good nutrients from our own locally grown food. So start eating more potatoes, yams, dashins, pumpkins, tomatoes, lettuce, sweet peppers, pineapples, bananas, all of which we have right here in Jamaica. Our job at Newport First Land Jamaica Limited is to support our farmers. We manufacture fertilizers and bring them to the hands of our farmers, who then grow the produce we eat, giving us the opportunity to enjoy nutritious, homegrown food. From our factory to the farmer to the consumer, we are vital to Jamaica's food supply chain. And so we are asking every Jamaican at this time to stand together to feed the nation. Keep our farmers employed. Farmer strong, industry strong, Jamaican strong.
The Plant Quarantine Produce Inspection Branch is a technical division in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries.
The branch is governed by the Plant Quarantines Act of 1993 and the Agricultural Produce Act of 1926. These acts empower the branch to issue permits for plant and plant products when being imported, to conduct export inspection and certification of all agricultural produce and packing facilities, to conduct sampling and destruction of plant and plant products that do not meet the requirements, and to enter into premises, warehouses, ships, and aircrafts to inspect plant and plant produce for pests.
The Plant Quarantine Produce Inspection Branch has offices located at 193 Old Hope Road and the two international airports, Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston and Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay. Any person with a tax registration number can apply for an import permit by first registering as a user at the websites www.moatrade.gov.jm and jswift.gov.jm. Then revisit the site and fill out the highlighted areas. Applicant's name, address, telephone number, and email address. The name, address, telephone number, and email address of the person sending the commodity, and name of the item or items to be imported, quantity, and weight. If a person is desirous of importing an item that is not in the import database, the pest risk analysis process must be initiated. An item would be absent from the database if it has never been imported to the country before, or it is being imported from a new country or a country with a pest outbreak. In this event, the branch's pest risk analysts and entomologists examine the possible pathways by which invasive exotic pests may enter the country. This is a scientific approach taken to access the health of commodities entering the country. Upon completion of the pest risk analysis, if the item is importable, it will be added to the database. Once an application is received, the permit will be approved in a minimum of 48 hours, and the importer will be notified by an automated email. The importer can pay online using a credit card or at the cashier at the plant quarantine offices. Permits can be printed in the comfort of the importer's office or home. Imported commodities will be physically examined at the ports of entry to verify if they meet the requirements. If the consignment is pest-free, it will be released to the importer. However, if the consignment is determined to be pest carriers, it will be denied entry and confiscated by the plant quarantine inspectors. All produce intended for commercial export must be prepared and packed in a certified packaging facility. The packaging facility must meet a set of requirements set by the branch. If the packaging facility is approved, the Chief Plant Quarantine Officer will prepare a letter to the Jamaica Promotions Corporation, JAMPRO, requesting that they certify the individual as an exporter. A plant quarantine inspector must inspect all shipments to ensure that they meet the requirements of the importing country. For example, if an item requires fumigation, that is, a treatment to kill pests present in the commodities, the Plant Quarantine Produce Inspection Branch conducts fumigations in accordance with the international standards to ensure that only the highest quality pest-free produce is exported. The fumigations are conducted observing all safety procedures. The goods are inspected before fumigation for temperature, moisture, quality, and pest presence. After the fumigation, the commodities are rechecked to ensure the process was successful, after which the packages and pallets are stamped, treated. The branch has bilateral agreements with the USA and Cayman Islands that sees our Jamaican exports being expedited at the ports of entry in these countries. The Plant Quarantine Branch further supports the agricultural sector by establishing certification programs. One such program is the Citrus Certification Program. The branch supports citrus growers by registering and monitoring citrus nurseries, providing certified planting material for industry players, providing training for growers, nursery operators, and other industry stakeholders, monitoring the movement of planting material, and surveying for citrus pests and advising growers about pest management. Interested persons may contact the branch at 876-977-0637 or 876-977-6401 or via email at ppq@moa.gov.jm.
Change has severe negative impacts and effects on the agricultural sector. In fact, the sector has lost directly nearly $30 billion to hurricanes in the last 25 years. Combating climate change is therefore paramount to ensuring that farmers maintain profitability, sustainable production, whilst also improving the nation's food security. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, continues in its mandate and drive towards achieving national economic growth and stability through agricultural development. Climate change is therefore considered one of the key areas that needs to be addressed and supported through agricultural extension delivery. As a result, RADA, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, has implemented a number of related programs, projects, and activities to include the promotion of rainwater harvesting systems, training in climate-smart agriculture, proper water and land management, fight against pests and diseases, and the promotion of drip irrigation systems. RADA also have compiled farmers' training modules for good land husbandry practices, agricultural disaster risk management, and climate-smart agriculture to be used as guides to farmers in its quest to impart this knowledge based on the seriousness of climate change. The training modules are used on a consistent basis by our technical extension team at farmer field schools and other forms of conventional training to expound on the establishment of drains, ballister waterways, the use of grass mulch, among many others. Through selected projects and programs, farmers also use Moodle platforms to allow for virtual trainings and to access agrometeorological data and information. The use of sustainable technologies are further promoted by RADA to assist farmers enhance production and capably combat climate change. These include soil moisture probes, tensiometers, pH and EC meters for water quality testing, fertigation systems with timers, GPS units, automatic weather stations, renewable energy for agriculture, to name a few. The main aim and focus of our training programs, activities, and use of the mentioned technologies is therefore to solidify the relevance and urgency in achieving food diversification and ultimately combating climate change.
My name is Norman Washington Grant, the Managing Director and the CEO of the Mavis Bank